Hey guys, welcome to the Rolls and Recoil podcast. This is
Soldier with Arrow, or Arrow.
And then this is
Bear Actual.
I'm Parker Ops, and we just happen to have a little bit of whiskey in front of us, so we're going to go ahead and raise a glass. We're going to cheers for us and to you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh, that's good.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, Bear, how about we start with you? Let's go ahead and go over the, what is it?
Life updates.
Yeah, let's start with you. Life updates. What's been going on with you?
Really, honestly, not much. Just been working. I worked the New Year's. I worked MLK Day because can't pass up that double time and a half. So mostly just been working. I took today off just so that I can not have to work 6 days in a row again. Other than that, just been same old, same old.
It's good to take some days off.
SSDD.
Yeah, there you go. Well, if anything, for me as well, it's just been work. I've been getting a little bit more productive with some of my projects outside of my regular job, especially with more of my Parker Ops stuff when it comes to my projects. We'll talk about that a little later. But other than that, it's been about the same. It's been a good New Year so far. It's been calm. It's been easy.
Yeah.
And of course, everyday stress. But yeah, I mean, that's
business as usual.
Work for you.
Yeah.
What about you, Arrow?
So been just mainly working. Traveled a bit for work. Went to Columbus, Ohio. That was kind of cool. Was there for 2 weeks. One nice thing is with my job, I get to travel quite a bit, which I enjoy. I love seeing the U.S. and my job also offers traveling outside of the U.S. if I eventually want to do that. Those are all volunteer gigs.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, I was in Columbus, Ohio for 2 weeks. Got to meet some really cool people. Got to see the town. Not far from the hotel, there was this really cool park that like raised into a big hill and had these 3 giant metal jackrabbits like all standing up like with their front paws like touching each other. That was super cool. And then I found like one of my top favorite freaking bookstores when I was there. It was called the Book Loft in Columbus, Ohio, and it was in like a little German village in the middle of the city. And 3 stories, books wall to wall, like in my top 3 favorite bookstores now.
Right on.
Really?
Yeah, I could have spent like the entire day there if I didn't have other things I needed to do.
You said it was like 3 stories?
3 stories. Like you walk up to this building in the middle of it's like the middle, dead center of the city of Columbus. And it looks kind of small, like a little old German style, like brick house kind of thing. But you walk around the sides and you enter through the sides, and then you walk in and you're on like the bottom floor. And you go up another little staircase and it leads back, and it has like some D&D stuff.
Ooh.
And like it has its own little D&D section, which is really
awesome.
cool. Like it's super, super cool. They even had custom D&D wood bookmarks. I almost bought one, but I bought a Book Loft leather D&D journal instead.
Okay.
Which I'm going to keep track of the book series I'm reading in it. And then you walk up another steps and it just keeps going. It goes up to the 3rd floor, and then that's where all like the fantasy books that I love. Like, I'm a big fantasy book reader. Also has a history and crime series up there, and super, super cool. Like hands down, if I'm going to Columbus again for work or just in general, I am going back to that store.
Oh yeah,
overall the store itself is extremely immersive. Like you're gonna get stuck there, kind of.
You walk in and you're surrounded by books.
That's
all the employees are super nice. They're all big book lovers. They knew about my number 1 favorite bookstore, Powell's, in Oregon. They knew about that because I mentioned to the cashier when I was checking out buying my books that I was like, yeah, you guys remind me so much of my favorite store in Oregon. And he goes, oh, Powell's? Because apparently Powell's is actually quite huge. They have an online store and everything. And I didn't know. I just discovered Powell's like 8 months ago, even though I've been living in Washington for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing store. Would 100% recommend going if you guys ever are in Columbus, Ohio. Go check the store out.
100%.
I could have spent all day in that store. It was amazing store.
Okay. Another quick topic. Parker's favorite saying. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he's like, oh, okay. Like, no, he just goes 100%.
100%.
Well, same with our buddy our buddy Kevin, his is there you go.
Oh, there you go.
But it's like half-ass kind of like I love the dude to death.
It's just his automatic saying is there you go.
There you go. And he's like nonchalant, like yeah, there you go.
It's like do you even care about the story I'm telling you?
It's kind of like being in the midst of a conversation you don't want to be a part of, and you're talking with somebody you don't want to talk to, and they keep talking to a point where you're like, okay, right, okay, right, yeah, right.
Get the fuck out.
But yeah, 100% that is Kevin.
Oh, great! Now you're starting it too.
Right. I pick up habits from people that I'm around a lot.
Yeah, same thing with like I've noticed that me and you both, especially for around people with like a really thick accent that we tend to like, it's just the ADHD in us. We just fucking mimic it, and people like look at us like, "Are you from this area?" No, I really like your accent. Well, it's just something I do.
Like for me, I'm from Texas, but you can't tell unless I'm drunk, and then the accent comes out. But I picked up shortly after moving here to Washington. I picked up this part of the U.S.'s accent really quick.
I just slur a lot.
I wonder why. Cheers. No, it's just an ADHD superpower. Like we just tend to mimic accents we really like.
It's fair. Or if we're just around it, our body just naturally starts picking it up like insanely faster than most people.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool that our brains work that way. Like, for instance, another ADHD thing is instead of just picturing pictures in our minds or words or voices, we can do a full 3D 360 model of everything in our brains. Mm-hmm. Most people can't do that.
No.
It's funny whenever Copper comes into town.
Oh,
everybody starts, hey there, Darla.
Speaking of Copper, I'm wearing one of his merch hats right now that he gave to me. This is one of the first releases that he did, and he especially brought it to me as a gift.
On that topic, our first guest star is going to be
Uncle Copper, which he will be here in May. So in May, expect good old country boy Uncle Copper, one of our best friends, best man at my wedding. I have known him for
too long,
a
while now. Like we were at the same unit. Those of you who now follow Rolls and Recoil because of the podcast I did on Uncle Copper's video. Thank you guys. I become friends with a couple of you. You are awesome. You even told me personally that you truly enjoy these videos that we do with the three of us, and it warms my heart. It really does warm my heart.
Really cool. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Yeah, I've gotten a few of those subscribers over from Copper's page. Yeah, on my TikTok, I'm just like, who are you people?
Especially
I don't make content. Funny, what are you doing here? I was dang, now I gotta make content.
Especially with those funny videos that you've been posting on TikTok
about D&D, yeah.
Like the one from your bachelor party.
Oh yeah, I legit think I'm just gonna start posting like just random like D&D memories from all the campaigns that I've done and that we've done.
And speaking of D&D campaigns, I got that new table. That's another new life event.
I got
a new dining room table that is solid oak wood, dark oak. And it's a nice table. And with that, we have the ability to actually start the campaigns and start the campaign I finished creating for us.
And that's another thing that we can do when we do our other project.
Later on. We can start recording our D&D sessions, and we're going to start posting them on our page for you guys to enjoy. We're a little dorky. I don't follow the rules directly as a DM. Neither does he.
No. That's what makes Dungeons and Dragons fun, though.
Yeah,
I mean, you can take it to your own.
It's more like guidelines.
They're guidelines. the books and rules are guidelines. Yeah. So if I say something wrong as a DM, don't hate me. I do things that make my players enjoy the story.
Yeah.
Not because this is what D&D is supposed to be. No, I make it fun for my players.
And I'm the same way, especially when it comes to like spell casting. Most spells, you have to have certain ingredients to cast that spell.
Well,
I don't give a shit about that. I'm not going to make you go out and waste your hard-earned gold to get ingredients just to go out and do another mission. Fuck that. That's stupid in my opinion.
Same like the diamond. So you need a diamond to resurrect somebody? No.
Now that I kind of understand, just so that people aren't clerics and that kind of stuff, but just aren't out resurrecting people.
Make them too hard to get and unavailable. I make them super available.
Yeah. But then again, with something like that, you can still manipulate the game however you'd like to make them more available. Yeah. Or if anything, you can just negate that entire factor. So you can make it however you want.
There's just one guy that I follow on TikTok, and he posts D&D stories all the time. And I saw a recent TikTok that he made, and it was actually like the cleric ran up on two of his party members that were dead, but they were secretly married, and that got revealed during this story. And he's like, "What can I see on their person?" He's like, "You see a wedding ring," and then he stops and thinks. He goes, "Is there diamonds on it?" Yes. I was like, I love that. That is so awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Also, just to bring it up to you guys, we all want to apologize for the fact that it has taken us so long to do this video. Yeah. We had some technical issues when we recorded last with our sound system where we couldn't hear me talking. And if you remember from our last video, there's multiple times where you can't hear Parker here speak at all. Yeah. And we fixed those problems, as you can see from our new foam setup that we have on the walls for soundproofing. And we're about to get some new mics. We got this new camera that was gifted to you by one of your clients, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of my customers. It's kind of a sad story, unfortunately. Basically, I went into a retirement home. I was fixing their telephone system, basically, and her husband had passed away just a few days prior. Well, she bought him this camera on Black Friday, so it was for Christmas, and the warranty was already invalid. She couldn't make a return. So, super sweet lady. She had a lot of pictures that her husband had taken, some nice videos, and somehow it got brought up that we have a podcast, and right now we're just filming on a little crappy webcam. And she's like, "Do you want a camera?" And I was like, "Sure." And she brought this one out. So now, as you can tell, we have much higher quality video.
Which I
people are a godsend.
Yeah, people are insanely nice, and I love the kindness of people. And this new camera is going to help us out a lot.
If you end up visiting her again, please express our thank you to her.
Oh, I already did. 100%. I almost started crying, and so did she. I was like, "You don't have to do this," and she's like, "I want to," and I'm like, and she just starts crying, and I'm like, "Do you want me to give you anything for this?" And she's like, "No, you were such a sweetheart." And I'm like, such a godsend, such an angel of a person.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And speaking of one of the things that we did last time on our last video that we had issues where it was we got the flag.
Yes. So I'll try to cut in a portion. We all signed right here in the top corner, middle corner of the flag. So we were talking about this, and every guest star that we have, we're gonna have them sign the flag. So we started that, and then of course we had audio issues. So I'm gonna cut that portion in now.
All right, so this is actually my first time ever doing my soldier signature.
Do it.
The arrow. SWA.
Like it.
All right, you want to do a pair actual?
Yeah.
Next. I'll trade you set. Be a little bit spicy. I'm gonna do it backwards B. Pair actual.
I like it.
As well. That's beautiful. This is all fancy, and ours are all like.
Over 30th.
It's official. We have signed.
Parker's lady here actually is the one who designed this for us.
Yeah,
and
so
super awesome.
My girlfriend one night, I was telling her that we needed to think of a design for our logo, and she's like, "Well, what do you want? Like, what kind of ideas do you have?" I was like, "Oh, I was thinking of a banner, some dice thrown up, some flames, and guns on it. You know, kind of deriving around everything that we do." She goes, "Give me a minute."
And then Bear over here found the website to where we could actually have a flag made, and
then Parker took it away from there. He's like, "Hey, go ahead and send me that link." week later, I get something in the mail. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I sent him the
and I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Hang it up." And I was like, "Okay, look at it."
So it is now our new backdrop, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It is super cool. I've personally thanked your lady, me personally, because she's also helped me out with one of the military flags.
Yeah.
But no, I am super grateful that she did this for us.
And on that topic of background, Parker brought these guys over, and it's actually cut down the echo a lot. You can probably hear it very well in the video, but we're probably gonna get a few more, fill it out a little bit more in the space, just so that we can have some crisp audio.
If anything, I just thought of this idea. This was a previous conversation we had as we were putting them up. These are some of my old panels from my recording studio, and we were thinking of like different colors.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really make a decision on the colors. So if anybody has any ideas that would look cool with this setup, like
I'm thinking some red to try to complement the flag, some like deep red. Bright, nice red.
I was thinking like
if we get some purples.
Yeah, if we get enough of just like the gray or black going around, we can have different colors, like the different colors of the dice.
Put them on the ceiling,
kind of scattered around and stuff like that, just to kind of enhance the color of the flags. You know? So
make it pop more.
If anybody wants to comment about like color ideas, or like, oh, you should just do like a black and green or black and blue or just blue, I don't know, some cool ideas would be awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let us know. We are more than willing to take advice from you guys on what you want to see.
Criticism, advice, anything you guys want to send out, just put it in the comments. We read every comment. There's not a lot of comments, but we read all of them.
This is all still very new to us. We're just starting out with this stuff, and I feel like we've already made a pretty good improvement
since our first two videos. Well, your guys' first video, because I was doing my last drill.
Yeah.
And then our second video, like since all of that, we have improved, in my opinion,
drastically.
Yeah, which like 9 days.
Which that upsets me about episode 3. This is episode 3 squared, or 2, 3. Episode 3 was really good, but we have like no audio.
Yeah, it was. You could not hear Arrow at all.
My voice was like I was just moving my lips and no sound, like this.
You could finally hear Parker
for once.
You could hear me cut in and out, but you could not hear Arrow except for every 5 minutes, and I was furious.
How long did we spend on that episode? 2 hours.
2 hours on that episode, and we were all furious. We were all super disappointed because this takes a lot of work.
And that was 3 weeks ago.
4,
maybe
almost 4,
almost 4,
3.5. Yeah.
Because obviously with weather and everything that's been going on,
and then with Arrow traveling,
we didn't have time, and like that third episode was kind of our saving grace to continue with our plan. It didn't work out, so now we have episode 3,
and we're back on track. Don't worry, we're gonna still do videos every other Sunday. It's just we had to take a hiatus. Arrow was out of town.
It happens.
We just didn't have time to squeeze anything else in, especially after we spent 2 hours. We were here until almost midnight filming a podcast, and we just couldn't squeeze another one in.
Which I also apologize to you guys that are watching us, and to you guys both. My work is going to be having me travel more often.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I'm going to be out of town a lot more. So if you guys need to do videos without me, I'm 100% for this. I will be here as much as I can, but my work is how I take care of my kids and my wife.
Work gets in the way.
That's totally understandable.
But I will. This year is going to be a very busy traveling year.
No matter what happens, you will still be a co-host. Period. End of story. At the end of the day, your seat will always be reserved.
I do want to help ensure that that's not going to be a problem, and we're gonna make sure that you're or here.
Or if anything, I video chat you guys during the podcast.
Pull up Discord and you just see Arrow's face
in the corner.
Just his face.
Hi guys. Jeff. Put your teeth in gravy, then, buddy. Take a pull. So one thing that we talked about last time we tried recording this was Christmas.
Yes.
Christmas has happened. 2023 Christmas happened.
Yeah.
What Parker, why don't you start off with some of your Christmas stories?
So I spent a lot of time with my family. It went great. We hung out, played games, had dinner. Everything went fantastic. It's not really anything about gifts and stuff like that. We prioritize just trying to spend time with each other. Obviously, with nowadays, it's hard to kind of keep up with holidays where it seems like it's a priority to get each other gifts and everything. But we made sure, regardless, that we were all here together to spend the time that we had. We had family visit from out of town, all the way from across the U.S., all the way down to New Hampshire. We had a family come over, and it was really nice. It was awesome.
Pause. I fucking hate the way you say New Hampshire.
It's New Hampshire, not New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
It's New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Anyways, go ahead. Come on.
Anyways, opposed to me and my girlfriend spending time with my family, we also had an awesome opportunity for us to travel over and spend time with her family. That was really cool.
Oh, shit, right on.
So we stayed over there for a night. We had dinner, we hung out, we drank a little bit, and we had a good time. We woke up in the morning, we had Christmas, and then we went out into the backyard of like 100 acres, and we just went shooting Christmas morning in the backyard. It was dope.
I'm jealous.
It was really cool.
I love that house. I've been to that house,
dude. It's like an old winery.
It was actually a church house that they bought, and they used to hold their sermons in that like stage, like bookshelf, like.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, and
I thought it was a winery.
So her parents ended up buying that house.
So to elaborate on this house, it's massive. Huge house,
amazing
huge property. Like they have all their animals, like horses, goats, and stuff. There's one horse, but goats, chickens. There's everything there. But as soon as you walk in through the main door is twice the width of a standard door, right? And it looks like an old barn door. This thing is super cool. You swing that thing open. There's like a lobby you walk into, right?
What?
Yeah, and within this lobby, you walk into directly to the right. There's a bathroom, huge. It's like a literal bathroom you walk into and see in a store. There's a urinal, there's a toilet, there's a big shower, there's a footed tub.
This house is amazing.
It has a stage in the living room.
It has a stage that's half library, half instrument stand playing on instruments area.
So when I got there, the first time I ever met her parents, there's multiple guitars, there's a drum set, there's a piano. Like it's a stage. It was the coolest thing. I spent the majority of my time there. I wasn't worried about video games or trying to keep myself busy. I was sitting up there just messing around with instruments and stuff. It's super cool. If I get any opportunity anytime soon to go back up there, yes.
So for those of you who don't know, I actually used to be in the same unit as his girlfriend. And sometimes we'd have to stop by the house and everything like that. And we actually made a joke in the past that I'm like, we should just get married so I could have this house. And she laughed, like we were joking around. But I was like, yeah, just so I can have this house when your parents finally pass, because I want it.
Joke's on you.
Joke's on me. It's going to go to one of my best friends instead.
Hey, I would only be so lucky.
In a way, we kind of get that house too.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Just
for that committed relationship.
just for that stage / library, I would turn it into my library.
It is so cool
because
it sounds rad.
It's very cool.
I'm a huge book nerd, so
not only that, the background.
You are?
Wow!
What?
Their backyard that they have fenced off is it's big, but then as soon as I got there, it seemed like the scene out of Lion King where it's like everything that the light touches. It's like everything from that pole way out there over there, and then you can't see it after the mountain, and then you see all the way over here on the other side of the mountain where you see a couple other poles over there. Yeah, all that over there is mine. It's like, brother, you got a berm. You got this massive berm.
Yeah, the berm is a mountain.
You could easily sit on the back porch and pot shot 1,000 yards, no problem, without anything skeeting over it.
Wow, that's crazy. That's cool.
So what about you, Bear? What was your Christmas time like?
Yeah.
So not quite as intense. I went and saw my grandmother. My grandfather recently passed away, so we've been trying to make more of an effort to see my grandma more often. So we went over there, visited her. She's not a Christmas person. She can't really give gifts, so she doesn't really want gifts to be given to her because she can't give them back. We did it anyways. I don't care. So we went over there, and I took her a heated throw blanket because she's been complaining about how cold it's been outside, especially now that she's on one income. She can't really afford to have the heat cranked up like she used to. Yeah. So we took that over there, and she like almost started crying. I'm like, Grandma, it's just a blanket. Like, it's a blanket. I love you. I love you, Granny.
It's the warm blanket
it's
of
the thought
love.
that counts.
It's the warm blanket of love.
So Sunday night, we went over to my wife's grandparents, did our Secret Santa. I got a torque wrench screwdriver for optics. I was really excited about that. I was really happy about that. And also some... an Allen key set, long reach. So, you know, when you're putting a grip on to lower, you know how hard it is to get an Allen key down in there to get that.
You're lucky enough if you can get the flathead or the Phillips, but majority of them are going to be the Allen.
Almost every time.
That is a pain.
Yeah, so
I've cussed and thrown stuff because of that.
Yeah, I was super excited about that. And what's really cool is this kit also includes the security torque spits. So not only are they torques, but they also have the hole in them in case you have to do a security torque spit. So I can still do those. So I was really happy about those. And then the next morning we started off Christmas right. We went over to the in-laws and they made coffee and they were like, we have Kahlua or Bailey's. And I was like, oh, give me that Bailey's.
About to go down.
Started off right in the morning, just started celebrating and just drinking coffee with Bailey's, hanging out, ate breakfast, opened some gifts. I got a couple new shirts. I got a gift card to Ranch and Home, which if you are around the Washington, Oregon area, you know what Ranch and Home is. That is the place I love to be.
It's like a second home.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely love that place.
Ranch and Home. Ranch and Home. But it is like a second home for the three of us. Like we spend so much time there.
Yeah, because they have everything we could ever want. They have good clothes. They sell tools, barbecues, smokers, coolers, toys for kids,
gun stuff,
pew pews, ammo, fishing,
on top
boats.
Of Ranch and Home, I even got a chance to kind of get close with the owner.
Yeah,
a couple times. Because
defend the try.
So there was that, but also, you know, working at the fairs and stuff with over the shoots for the rodeos for the Benton County Rodeo and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right.
That stuff was really cool. You know how expensive those booths are?
Very.
Extremely.
Insanely expensive.
VIP booths.
Yeah,
they're super expensive.
I've seen the books. Like, I know exactly how expensive.
Yeah, that's why you have to be a sponsor to get one of those booths.
Jokes on them. I could just trot around wherever I wanted when I was working there. Yeah, great. But you know what I had to do? I had to focus on everybody, not the rodeo.
Yeah. The rodeo was really good.
I was watching the rodeo.
It's not like the best rodeo in the world. Like, I've been to real Texas rodeos growing up, but
that's a different breed. But
hold up, we get Texans coming to the Benton County.
We do get Texans coming in, but it's not a Texas rodeo.
Not quite. There's been a couple years where it's been it's been pretty crazy.
There's been some crazy stuff.
That is fair. That is fair, but it's not a Texas rodeo. Like, I love our fair and rodeo to death. But it's not a Texas rodeo. For those of you that are from Texas and know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean, and you know I'm right.
I'll give you guys gratis for
also
the fact
on the topic. Texas rodeos actually have really good barbecue.
Yeah,
we have good northern barbecue. We got brisket, but the brisket's not always.
So what you're saying is we don't have good barbecue, but we have good northern barbecue?
Yeah, yes, pretty much. Trust me, there's a big difference.
There is an insanely huge difference.
But yeah, on Christmas, what about yours?
So I had multiple houses I had to go through.
Of course.
I had first the wife's grandparents, and then my parents. Actually, no, then we had everybody at our house from her dad's side of the family for breakfast on Christmas Day, and then we went over to my parents' house for Christmas Day evening. And it was a lot. And then back to her mom's house for more Christmas stuff the day after Christmas. It was just one thing after the next. I love all of them. They're my family, but it does get exhausting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially once you marry into a family, not only as kids, you have your family.
Yeah.
And then, well, you have your dad's family and your mom's family, and if you're lucky, they do it all at once together. But when you get married, you have your side, their side, and then if it's a broken family, then you have their parents, their mom's side, their dad's side, and then your side, and it's just
that's what we deal with. But one of the cool things, which I brought with me, that I got from my wife's dad's side of the family, from her dad actually, because he's also a D&D nerd like me.
Us.
Like us. Correction.
Yes. We're all in the same boat, baby.
I got this. This doesn't look like much right now, but this is actually a portable dice tower.
That's cool.
That when you clip it together.
Is that leather?
Yeah, it's leather and velvet. So let me just mess with this for a moment, and then I will have it on display. I'm gonna pull that little piece so that I actually hit the magnet. It is a leather castle dragon dice tower.
And that just folds up like a book.
Yeah, it is. It folds up. There's magnets here. There's snaps in the front to hold it together. So when you put your dice down it, they roll down and land in the center. Yeah, go right ahead.
Even has
it's got the platforms to let the dice roll down.
Yeah, no. One of the coolest Christmas gifts I've gotten. Yeah, go right ahead. Like, check it out.
That is super dope.
No.
No.
Bear, look, it's Jesus.
Jesus.
That's cool.
Hey, look, it's stainless steel.
Actually, it's high carbon steel.
Bloopers.
There you go.
But no, it's
really cool.
It's super cool. One of the coolest things I've gotten. There we go. There you guys can see it.
Adjusting. There we go.
But no, Magnus a little. There's a little piece
it's
ramp.
Still new.
There's a little ramp that like pushes the dice out into the thing, and it can stop it from sitting up forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, drop it in, rolls down, pops out here, and comes into the dice tray. Which I love this gift. I'm going to be using it like crazy when we start our D&D.
That's going to be so easy to throw into all your kit for D&D.
Oh, and it collapses, and it will throw right into my strap of my.
I was gonna say
DM tower
with your so he has this really big, I forgot what brand it is.
Dragon Shield.
Dragon Shield. He has this really big Dragon Shield like D&D like DM setup. It is super cool. Will that fit in it?
The GM's companion.
It'll go right into the straps that go around the Velcro to hold it all together when you're not using it, and I can slide it right into that strap and tighten it around. So
you can throw that right in front of your DM screen right there. Yeah. That is dope.
So I'm actually going to turn this into You know Homeboy with his Box of Doom? This is going to be...
Brandon Lee Mulligan.
But Brandon Lee Mulligan's Box of Doom, this is going to be our Box of Doom. This is our Box of Doom.
Here we go.
It's a portable DM Box of Doom.
Hold me, brother!
But that's what this is going to be for us. When I'm DMing, this will be my Box of Doom.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Not really, but I like it.
Hey, you don't gotta like it to like it. That makes no sense, but it perfectly makes sense.
It makes sense for us. So
I'm gonna leave it.
So speaking of Christmas and gifts, I have surprise gifts for you guys today.
What?
I have surprise gifts. And I've talked about this with both you guys, but you don't know what it is.
Where?
So
you've been hiding that under the table?
Yeah, I got my little secret stash right here.
Bitch.
So close your eyes, pull out your hands, both hands. They're not tiny.
They're not tiny. Oh,
all right, you can open them. So
you got our own copies?
I got you guys your own copies because this is hands down in my top 5 favorite book series there is. Fourth Wing. I have read both the first and second book. Iron Flame is the second book. I finished the Iron Flame in 2 days. That's how much I love these books. It is pretty much every favorite thing you can think of from a fantasy style novel in one book.
That's rad.
With a little bit of spice.
Well, thank you.
Oh, it's even just...
So we talked about it on the last episode that we didn't get to post.
But he brought his
I brought my personal copy, the holiday copy.
Yeah.
But I really want you guys to read this so I can have somebody else to talk
I'm gonna start reading this tonight.
You please do, because every person I've gotten onto this book and this series, the Fourth Wing series, hates and loves me at the same time because they do not want to put it down, and the third book doesn't come out till December this year.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start this off with saying, dude, thank you. This is
that's really cool.
Bear Actual, do you want to read the back of the books for our viewers to kind of get an idea? But if you guys are not huge book people like I am, he is gonna like kind of read the back of it so you can get a little gist of what this book is about.
All right. Anyone else feel like changing their mind? Zaden shouts, scanning the remaining rows of cadets with the same shrewd gaze of the navy blue dragon behind him. No? Excellent. Roughly half of you will be dead by this time next summer.
It's Zaden, actually.
Zaden?
Zaden.
Okay. The formation is silent except for a few untimely sobs from my left. A third of you again the year after that, and the same year last year. No one cares who your mom or your daddy is. Even King Tauri's second son died during his threshing. So tell me again, do you feel invincible now that you've made it into the Riders quadrant? Untouchable? Elite? No one cheers. Another blast of the heat rushes, this time directly at my face. And every muscle in my body clenches, preparing for incineration. But it's not flames, just steam. And it blows back Rhiannon's... Is that how you say it? Rhiannon's? Rhiannon's braids as the dragon...
Ronan and Rhiannon.
Rhiannon's?
Hold on, let me see. You bring...
Rhiannon's.
Where you at?
Rhiannon's.
Hold on. Rihanna's.
Think of it like Rihanna.
Rhiannon's. Braids as the dragon finished their simultaneous exhale. The breeches of the first year ahead of me darken, the color spreading down his legs. They want us scared. Mission accomplished. Because you're not untouchable or special to them. Zaden? Zaden points towards the navy dragon and leans forward slightly. Like he's letting us in on a secret as we lock eyes. To them, you're just prey.
Amazing book. There's spice. There's challenges. There's adventure. There's dragons. There's magic. Most of the before you can even become a cadet, you have a challenge right at the beginning, and a lot of them die. A lot of them die during that. Like, it is a very challenging. You are almost guaranteed
to die. But people still do it because you become a dragon rider. Yeah. There's
another country where people ride griffins that you're fighting.
Griffins?
Yeah. Griffin Riders. Yeah. No, it is good. It is published by Red Tower. It is a. I want to pronounce her name right. It is a Rebecca Yaros.
You had my attention. Now you have my interest.
Yeah. No. But yeah, no, amazing book. Hands down in my top 5 favorite fantasy books. I really wanted you guys to read this, so I had people to talk about it with. Yeah, right there. Let them see. Let it up there in the front. Amazing books from me to you guys.
Wow. Thanks again, brother.
Dude,
hug me, brother. Air hug. Come here.
Oh, okay. Put me in the middle.
You might want to wash your hand after that.
I'm wiping it off on my jeans.
Don't tell me why.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache.
No copyright strikes.
Hey, we're not playing it. We're singing it. There's a difference.
Yeah. But no, so
ain't nothing.
You guys have to promise that you're going to actually read it, though.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I'm going to start reading that tonight.
And if you guys really like this, get the second book. And if you really like the second book, you want to get more into this kind of a world of reading, because I'm a huge book nerd. I have been since like middle school.
Yeah.
Let me know. I have plenty of series for you guys.
Ooh.
No, I'm gonna get into this. With everything that you've already told me in the past, and especially with the description on the back of this book,
spicy.
I'm excited. And not only that, I've been really wanting to get back into reading. Speaking of reading, I'm really excited about this, but this just brought up a old memory. Do you guys remember a book back in school called Among the Hidden?
Yeah.
No.
I read that.
I really want to get back into that book.
I don't blame you. That is definitely a good reread book.
It's not very like D&D based or anything like that. It's more it's a very different book, but that just reminded me.
Yeah.
That I really want to get back into reading.
Or for instance, the book I'm reading right now is the first of 4 books. It is the 4 Horsemen books.
Oh, okay.
They're a little spicy.
Oh, that's right.
But it's a slow burn book. So it's like a slow burn between the two.
Okay.
But each book follows one of the 4 horsemen. The first one is Pestilence. I am almost done with it. I think I have like maybe 60 pages, maybe a little less left of that book. And then it goes to War, and then Famine, and then Death. And those are the 4 books.
Ooh.
Really, really good. I am fully into this series now, but I'm trying to go through different other series in my haven't read yet books that I bought. I have a nice little stack of like 6 or 7 books that I haven't read yet, but I will probably finish them before it's December, but I'm trying to read other series until the 3rd book of this comes out.
Yeah. The last series I read, so in elementary school, actually, my 5th grade year, I started with the Percy Jackson series,
Which I've read multiple times.
and then I started it's a series right after that by Rick Riordan. It's the Roman one. I can't remember the series name, but it takes place it's the exact same thing, and Percy's in it and everything. I can't remember the series name, but I read all of that, and then I was like, okay, I don't know what to read next. So my buddy was like, here you go, Vampirates.
Vampirates?
That book was weird, cool, and badass all at the same time.
Hold on, wait.
Vampires.
Vampirates.
Vampire
So they were
pirates.
vampire pirates.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've never heard of it?
You know, I was reading.
So basically, the way it starts out is I don't remember exactly, but it's this younger guy being trained by an actual pirate crew. And one night, I believe they're attacked by a random blacked out ship, and they get taken. They're captured, and he's sneaking around that ship, and he stumbles onto somebody feeding on one of his crewmates and freaks the fuck out, and that's how the game starts. The book starts.
Oh,
it's really good.
I've read the first one.
I've read all of them. It gets better.
Mine one that really got me into reading and book series was Ranger's Apprentice.
Ooh, okay.
There's so many books in that series now, because there's like the Royal Rangers apprentices now, but it starts off with an orphan, and in their culture, when you get a certain age, you get lined up, and like the baker will come up and pick you as their apprentice, or the blacksmith, or the knights, and whatever. And this this young orphan doesn't get picked, and he's so curious why. He like climbs and sneaks into the castle of his little village to like figure out why he wasn't picked. Turns out he wasn't picked because the ranger was waiting and watched him the entire time he was breaking into the castle, and like was there like right next to him, and comes out at the end of him breaking into the thing is like, you're mine, and trains him. And then like his childhood bully becomes one of his best friends because he ropes him into being a knight, and all of this. And it is a great fantasy, a little bit of magic thrown in, fantastic book series. I bought the first book for my son for Christmas.
Okay.
So you just reminded me of one of my favorite books. So one of the book series that actually got me really into reading. I had several books that really got me into it. Obviously, you know, the Among the Hidden, Fahrenheit 451, Of Mice and Men. I love those books. Those are fantastic.
Classics. Yeah.
But one in particular, my mom got me into it. It's the Stephanie Plum novels. I forgot who the author is, but it's all the Stephanie Plum novels. They actually ended up making a movie after the first book called One for the Money. Second book is Two for the Show, so on and so forth. There's 20 plus books in this series. It's about a woman who and living in the big city. She's in distress. She doesn't have a lot of money. She's about to lose her apartment, her car, and everything like that. And she's very, petite, doesn't really have any like skills or anything like that, but her cousin works in bail bonds. Okay. So she out of nowhere jumps into it and becomes a bounty hunter.
So a bona fide badass.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
So coming from like the first book to say the 11th book. So she starts off doing this, and the first person she's hunting down, I believe, is either her ex-boyfriend or ex-husband.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah. With that blonde chick.
But she's like brunette in the movie.
Yeah.
So and then it's I can't remember the actor, but he's like a cop or spy or something like that. And then she gets the bail bond to go get him. And then he like handcuffs her to,
and she has no idea what she's doing.
Yeah, so she gets handcuffed to like the shower curtain or something, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, so that's based off the book.
I've not read the books yet.
Yeah,
Isn't that with Gerald Butler?
No, that is the Bounty Hunter.
Oh, okay.
So with these book series, it gets
or the Bounty or something.
The One for the Money. It starts off with her, starting off as a bounty hunter, going after like her ex-husband or whoever he is. But it gets so obnoxious to a point where. I don't want to spoil too much, but she's getting chased with by a dude in a bunny suit with a meat cleaver.
Yep.
And then and then in one of the other books, I believe it's the 11th book, where somebody tries to kill her by putting a giant spider in her car. She lights up the inside of her SUV with a 12 gauge. Like, it is hilarious.
I did not know that was based off a book series. Yeah. I love that movie. But
we have almost all of the books. If you want to read One for the Money, I'll give you the book so you can read it. It's hilarious.
I have so many books on my to read this.
You are done. If you want to.
I am on a book buying ban right now because I keep buying books. Like, I just bought the Barnes & Noble special edition sprayed edge of Sons of Darkness, which is on my to read list, it looks like a nice thick book, probably like 600 or 700 pages, but it looks good. Same with Sanctuary in the Shadows, which is another one. Also Red Tower book, which I got one of the first releases that is sprayed edged, which is pretty common right now to get. But Red Tower likes to do sprayed edges on their first releases of each book, even if it's a continuance. I'm looking forward to reading that one. I have the rest of the Four Horsemen.
Sounds like you got a lot.
I have Swordcatcher. I have the Challenge or the Sun Queen to read. I have quite a few books, but when I get through these, and I have the rest of the ACOTAR series to read as well. I've read the first A Court of Thorn and Roses, there's 4 more books I need to read. I also have the Throne of Glass series I need to read, which is I think almost 10 books or something like that.
Geez. So on top of all the books they have to read and everything else going on, to you specifically, because obviously something that we did recently, catering towards blacksmithing.
Yes, blacksmithing.
So what is something that we did recently?
So recently, while my wife's car was taking forever to get new tires, I hung out with you, and I started my first forging project.
Yeah,
out of a railroad spike.
Right. So in the midst of us helping each other out and everything, we were hanging out and stuff. I went over to help him out. Ended up going home. Had to pick him up, and then we ended up at my house. We played some Halo Reach.
Yeah, we played some Halo Reach. And then in the midst of still waiting for the store to finish working on your wife's car, we had some time. So what we did was we went out to my forge because I had some work to do, specifically more of this right here. This super beautiful, awesome Bowie knife you're making.
Yep. All handmade, Parker Ops original. So while I was out there working and sanding down a little bit more, he was still over my house. So what we did was I gave him a railroad spike, and unlike some of the other people I've had come over and let alone tried to teach how to blacksmith, from what I can tell already, he already kind of knew what he was doing, and then he kind of expressed later that he's been looking into blacksmithing for quite some time.
I've always been interested in it ever since I was like in high school. I've always wanted to like know how to forge my own sword or knife, or so I've really watched like in-depth videos of blacksmiths making stuff. So
I have mine here.
you have yours here?
My 2 knives that I've been making.
Really? Because I thought I saw them on the forge with your stamp.
There's one there that I haven't finished yet. I have 2 here that are almost finished.
You want to grab them real quick?
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a quick pause. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back after this.
We'll get back into this conversation. And we're back. So back onto the conversation with the blacksmith thing. Like Arrow said, he was over hanging out with me. He started his first blade out of a railroad spike while I was working on this Bowie knife. This is for one of my customers. So Bear actually had some previous experience in my forge as well. And he has now, after the break, 2 of the blades that he's been working on. I even made him his own custom stamp for what was it, Bear Man blades or Bear Made blades?
Bear Man blades.
Which we need to work on my stamp.
Yes, we will get into that. You'll have to figure out what kind of stamp you want. Draw out a couple things, and then I can work on making that for you.
Yeah.
But these are the 2 blades he's made. There's a third one in my forge right now that's still currently being worked on.
So this is a Viking sack style blade. I actually forged this out of a Trucks
Leaf spring.
Man,
1095.
This
dense
is dense. It's about a 1/4 inch thick.
Ooh,
and
yeah, just by feeling
heavy.
Yeah.
Parker watched me just absolutely whack on it for 2 hours straight just to get the shape in, and he was like, dude, you do realize that if you just get it thinned out a little bit, you can just take the grind to do it. I was like, I'm a fucking real man. Just knocking the shit out of it.
Well, that's how I was with mine, with the railroad spike. Like, the progress I made on my first try was pretty damn good. Like, I got that thing nice and like set to the angles I want, because it's gonna be a dagger. It's gonna be a railroad spike dagger, and we're gonna twist the handle and everything.
Oh yeah,
we're thinking about doing a pineapple twist.
Yeah, and then so he's just sitting back watching me just absolutely just smack,
just destroy this
crap out of this, and he's like, "Is your arm getting tired?" And I was like, "Not yet, baby.
I'm not done."
6 more swings, and I was like, "All right, I need a break." So I just need to drill a couple of holes. It's already been tempered, heat treated. I'm gonna hit it with another sanding pass so that it's nice and fine. I gotta do the bevels and put a handle on it. Sharpen it. And
this one posted on
my Bear Man Blades Instagram.
Yeah.
I haven't added anything to it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it off a little bit shorter right here, because this is just a little bit too long. There's no need to have this spike really. I was thinking of having a glass breaker, but looking back at it, this steel isn't the greatest for puncturing glass. So there's no really need, and if I have to break a window, I might as well just go full bore, just straight into a window.
What's that other one you got there that you're working on? That you already have a handle on?
Yeah, so this guy is
still in the works.
Complete. I have to finish sanding down this handle a little bit, epoxy it, but it's already beveled. It's so we actually did a little bit of an experiment because it's high carbon steel, and I was like, I wonder what acetone will do to high carbon steel, if it'll do really anything at all, because Damascus, if you don't know, whenever you do Damascus...
You mean, it's not acetone, it's ferric chloride.
Really?
Yeah.
Ferric chloride. You soak it in ferric chloride and it makes the steel pop, and you can actually see the patterns. So we dipped this for 20 minutes?
Yeah,
and it just blackened the blade.
So to kind of elaborate on the ferric chloride, it's a type of acid that'll etch steel. So if you have Damascus, like if you have different materials, say if you have something that's like a stainless steel, forged in with something that's high carbon, you have those 2 different materials, and once they're mixed together, you might be able to sand it and polish it and everything. You won't really see that much of a difference between them because they're steel. But once you dip it into the ferric chloride, it starts eating away at everything that's a high carbon, something that will rust, opposed to something that is kind of immune to rust, kind of like
a high nickel.
Yeah, kind of like a finer metal, say like gold, silver. They're like precious metals. They don't rust. But you have, you good?
Yes.
Of course.
Give me the dagger, Smeagol.
I'm playing my favorite game called Bernie Cut.
Smeagol, give me the dagger. You're gonna hurt
Yeah,
somebody.
so this one, I gotta do a little bit more refining of the actual handle itself, as well as we were planning on putting a brass guard.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I'm gonna do a pommel.
You could if you wanted to, if you wanted to make a little bit
Yeah,
more
but
of a...
we were doing a burn through, remember? So I actually did some jipping for all the resin to hold once we actually get this guy glued together.
You could put an all thread at the bottom of it if you wanted to put a takedown.
Yeah,
That's takedown on it, and then instead of putting like an epoxy or a resin or anything in it, just using the pressure of that, or however you would like to do it. Like you could do it 1,000 different ways.
Yeah.
But if that's the way that you want to keep it, we could even throw that on the lathe so you can get some good rounded sides and profile it a little bit better. It really depends on just how you want to do it.
Yeah, but the sad story behind this,
just put that anywhere.
This knife is it was actually meant for my coworker who was my trainer, who gave me free tattoos as a repayment for the tattoos, who actually moved away.
Oh, he moved away?
Yeah.
Wasn't he at your wedding and everything?
Yeah.
I didn't know he moved away.
Yeah, he moved back to his hometown.
Me and him were Whetstone necklace brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one too.
You're supposed to wear it.
I don't have it on me. I'm sorry.
Fired.
You're supposed to wear it at all times.
But
You lectured
more
me
than likely what
about
else-
that I need to always have this on me, and you don't wear yours. That's fine.
More than likely, what I'll do is I'll get his address and I'll just mail it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's in the box?
Aha! So I got these last year for Christmas. Just haven't been over to Parker's Forge. Basically, what these guys are, if I can figure out which way it opens.
So if I can elaborate real quick. So the one thing that you use to prevent you from touching red hot
metal
steel, something that's gonna harm you a lot.
Tongs!
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab another set of these real quick.
So basically, these are just tong blank sets. So what you have to do is you have to actually finish the forging process on these guys. So these ones are V-grip tongs, so you actually have to split them in the middle right here and pour them out.
Ow!
These are V-shaped tongs. So you have to drill a hole, you have to forge these out just a smidge, and actually put the rivet in and hammer the rivet itself.
So like these ones right here would be a little bit more of like a duckbill or like a flat, so you can hold on to flat bar.
Yeah, you just heat it up right here and you twist them, and
so then they can hold on to a flat bar of steel.
And these are pretty much the same thing, but they have a nice little hole in here. So what you do is get them hot, and you just bend them ever so slightly, and you have a second pair of V-tongs that are a little bit lighter in the front, so you're not really holding stuff that's too terrible.
Even something like that, you could potentially use those to hold on to the head of like railroad spikes.
Yeah, and then these are just pretty standard tongs. You just forge them out just a smidge, and you get a little bit more meat up here. You can forge them out a little bit more and make them a little bit more like needle nose pliers, so you can mess with bar stock and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I got these last year for Christmas and just haven't had the opportunity to go over to Parker's Forge and finish them.
It makes a heart.
You're my heart.
You're cute.
So
Always.
I want to switch things up a little bit. So you, on our last actual posted video, picked on me about a certain book that I did not bring.
Oh yes, that's right.
So I brought it.
When am I not picking on you?
That's fair.
When are you not picking on any of us?
When are we not picking on each other?
Oh, you're also not wrong.
I have the Taldore book.
Yes.
Written by Matthew Mercer. Super, super awesome book. And he says that he's still not finished, even though he has an actual book. Let me see it. But Taldore Reborn, awesome book. I've taken a lot of notes from it. Burp,
Oh,
excuse me.
that picture on the front is super cool.
Oh yeah, and it follows the campaigns and everything of
Who's there?
Critical Role. Oh wait, hold on. Let's not skip over this.
Wait, what is that?
Not skip over this because it's too beautiful. Because you were drooling about maps a minute ago inside your book.
No way.
Yeah, it comes with. If I can get it open, yeah, there we go. The actual full map of the world from the Critical Role D&D campaigns, which I'm going to frame this.
I'd be ashamed if that went missing.
I will murder you.
Again. You're not
But-
really here. You have to let go.
I am going to. I am going to frame this and have it in a nice picture frame in my D&D room.
That's gonna be good.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I gotta flatten out the creases first and then frame it. But it talks about all the new things that he added specifically for his Critical Role campaigns, that world, everything.
Yeah, and what's really cool is he didn't like how vague the original D&D books were, especially about like astral plane and that kind of stuff. So he actually goes more in depth writing about what those are.
This is too cool.
Yeah, of course, me, the book nerd, would buy the books. But I absolutely love that book. It has given me a lot of ideas for my campaigns I'm doing in the future.
Yeah,
That is super neat.
It is thick and it is beautiful.
with 3 C's.
Yeah, no, it is a gorgeous book, insanely well written. The man is an icon when it comes to D&D.
Oh yeah.
He's done so
Him,
much.
Brandon Mulligan, and I'll put her name up right here. I can't remember.
She's also an amazing DM.
Oh yeah.
We talked about her in the first video I was in.
Yeah.
We talked about all of
last
them.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is why you made fun of me because I didn't bring this book. Yeah. Which last time we did a video, speaking of things from last videos, Parker here mentioned that he was watching The Rookie.
I have been watching The Rookie. So obviously not recently. I've been too busy to get back into it. But in the time while I had some free time, my girlfriend had mentioned this show called The Rookie, and I needed to start watching it. And I was like, I'm not really looking into getting into any new shows. I mean, I'm a rerun Futurama kind of guy. I mean, I also not a fan of the new Futurama that came out.
Neither am I.
Don't judge
But
me.
we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole right now.
But in the likelihood, or not in the likelihood, but in the light of the situation, I told her, yeah, we'll watch it. Watched one episode, fucking hooked. I mean, dude, that show is too cool.
It's amazing. I've watched the entire series that's out right now.
With the line of work and everything, you know, I got just snagged into it immediately. And
Wait till you read that book.
oh, dude, I'm excited. But with Rookie, it brought up a lot of a couple of the episodes that I've gone into. I'm not going to spoil any episodes if anybody hasn't seen it. I don't like it when anything's spoiled for me. So, but there's a couple of similar situations that I've even dealt with that have been. It was kind of like, oh,
In your private security life, yeah.
yeah. So stuff like that, working with Leos and stuff like that. It's been. There's a couple of those situations where it's like, holy crap, and the show is amazing. It's a cool, really, it's like a weird cinematic, like in-depth version of like what you would see like if you watch some of those live action or like watch the body cam footages of PD and stuff like that. It's a little bit more of a dramatic version of it, where it gets more in depth of the situation in the person's personal life and everything, what's going on behind the scenes of the situation, opposed to what you're seeing on the camera. And it's super cool. I love it. And especially the last episode that I watched. Oh my god. I'm not going to say which episode it was, but I am stoked to watch the upcoming episode from it. I could tell you guys after the podcast. I'm not gonna.
Well, I've seen it all, so we've both seen it all, so we know.
Not everybody has.
But for between us three,
Spoiler alert.
Let's just say an apartment complex.
Or good old.
Okay, there's a lot of those in that series.
Good old River Song.
No let's just say no communication.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
With.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
River Song. I'm gonna quote her right now from Doctor Who. No spoilers.
Ripperoni Dooney.
Stop it.
What about
Stop
you?
it.
What about
Bad
He's
boy.
quoting Doctor Who. I'm gonna do it too.
What about you? What about you over there?
Yeah.
Any new
What about you over there?
Yeah, you over there.
Hey, you.
Hey, you.
Over yonder window break.
So we just finished the Rookies.
Stop
We finished 911 Lone Star. We finished 911. We're waiting for those seasons to come, new seasons to come out. We actually just finished SWAT. We're waiting for more of the 7th season to come out now, and we're actually getting ready to start Rookie Fed, which is a spin-off from The Rookie about a federal agent instead of just a police officer. So we've been binge watching SWAT so much. Have you seen the movie SWAT with Samuel L. Jackson?
No.
It's based off of that.
Fucking excuse me?
I live under a rock.
Cut!
No cuts here, baby. How you doing? But basically, it kind of is a spinoff of that. They share the same characters. Like Street from the movie is different actors, but a character in the TV series. Hondo, who was Samuel L. Jackson's character, is a main character in
But he's
the
younger.
TV series.
He's younger.
Much younger.
I've watched the first couple seasons. I kind of got bored.
And he's Morgan from Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
So Shamar Moore is actually Hondo in the SWAT series.
Really?
And so that's kind of how we got into it. I was like, wait a fucking minute. I know that actor.
I know you.
Let's see what this is about. And me and my wife just were hooked right off the rip.
I like it.
See, and me, I'm pure nerd in every form. I started watching the new January anime series that are being released, and they have finally released Solo Leveling, which if any of you, I'm sure you are because you're nerds like us, if you're watching us, watch anime, you know all about Solo Leveling. I've read the entire manga series. I haven't read the series about his son, but I am insanely excited to see that manga put onto picture into a show. Hands down, one of my favorite mangas ever released. If you guys haven't watched it yet, you need to. Same with Unwanted Undead Adventurer. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. It's also really good. So
I just saw clips of that about TikTok.
An adventurer goes into a dungeon and finds a secret passageway and gets killed by a dragon, and then
becomes a skeleton.
Becomes an undead skeleton, and then starts leveling up his ability to like grow skin and like
becomes a ghoul. And progresses.
And progresses, but also still has his brain and memories and everything. And as actually because of it, he's stronger than he was as a normal adventurer, but continues being an adventurer and like sneaks into the city with a mask and all this kind of stuff. Super cool. Another one is that I started watching. I can't remember the name of it. I apologize to you guys, but to you who know I'm talking about, you guys probably follow the new releases of animes on for January. This girl, she's a princess. She gets denied her proposal in public by the prince of the kingdom, and then she goes and becomes a merchant and dies, and then gets. As soon as she dies, she wakes up back in that same moment that she's being turned down. By
Like
the
a
prince.
Groundhog Day kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a Groundhog Day where she like will live years, and she's on her 7th time reliving her life. Yes, his neck popped very hard, but
I felt it.
Yeah. But this is her 7th time like going back around, and when she died on her 6th life, she was killed by this king/prince. He's a king at the time when he kills her, and she's a knight, a female knight who disguises herself as a man. gets killed, and then gets right back to Groundhog Day moment when she gets turned down again. She's like going away, and she runs into him, and she does something that causes him to fall in love with her. And then next thing she knows, he's proposing to her. So now she's like engaged to the dude who killed her in her previous life in the same moment, and having to like deal with wanting to be not have an adventurous life, but still enjoy herself and be lazy and not have to follow like royal etiquette, but also doing the fact that this is the man that killed her that she's now engaged to. And it is pretty freaking cool.
That's odd.
Oh. It's that's why I like it, because it's not like the same old.
What did you say it's called?
I can't remember.
I can look it up on my app right now.
You were saying.
So the anime that I was just talking about, where she's like her seventh life, is called Seventh Time Loop.
Seventh Time Loop.
Because she's constantly reverting back to her previous younger self, where she's being turned down by the prince, and this is her seventh time going through all these different like adventures.
Wait, hold it. So the prince is
a different prince. Different prince. So the one that killed her is the prince from a different kingdom. But at the beginning of when this starts, is she's supposed to be like betrothed to this one prince, and he like calls her out as like a horrible human being, and she's not at all. It was lies said about her, and he turns her down in front of an entire audience in the like throne chamber. And then she goes, lives her whatever adventurous life, and then dies, and then starts back in that moment where he's saying that you are a horrible person, I'm done with you, I'm not marrying you, and it just keeps re-looping back to that moment every time she dies. And this is the seventh time she's doing it, and the person, the prince from a different kingdom that killed her in the last one, in her last time loop, her sixth time loop, is the one who proposes to her.
That's crazy.
It's like a little unique fantasy love interest. I like romance. That I'm weird that way.
Real quick, you really know who you're with, especially if you know in a past life that they're the ones that killed you. I mean, could you imagine?
Well, she doesn't know anything about him other than the fact that he started conquering different kingdoms, and in the middle of him trying to conquer the kingdom that she's a knight under, kills her. But she doesn't really know anything about him.
Other than the fact that he's willing to kill her.
Yeah. And it is super, like, I love every time there's a new episode. It's super good. Okay. You're kind of intrigued now, aren't you?
Very. Speaking of TV shows, is there any TV shows that you guys are excited about being released?
I live under a rock, my dude.
Season 2 of Fire Country, not 3. Season 2 of Fire Country is about to release here soon. I'm super excited because I love that show. I've talked to you both about that show before. I mentioned it in our last video.
Yeah.
That Fire Country, super awesome. Season 2 is finally about to come out. They just started recording the new season. Super stoked for it.
Yeah, I'm excited about Invincible Season 2 Part 2.
Yeah.
They're finally releasing the second part of Season 2, so I'm really excited about that.
But yeah, no. Fire Country Season 2, they just started recording the episodes. I follow them on TikTok. I follow them on social media. They're all the actors are super excited because it was such a good show. Oh.
Speaking of TikTok and shows, we've actually seen Tim from The Rookie, the actor that plays Tim. He's been making TikToks about them filming season 7, and I'm like, ooh, okay, let's go, baby.
Well,
don't spoil too much.
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
But speaking of like electronic shows and stuff like that, are there any games you guys are excited about that are coming out recently? That are coming out here soon?
So I was really excited. It was supposed to release in the last quarter of last year, but it got pushed back. Space Marine 2. It's based off the Warhammer 40k universe, but it got pushed back to September 9th of 24. So I have to wait an additional 8 months now for that game to be released. So I'm actually pretty bummed about that. PAL World just came out as an early access. Haven't really been into that. but just been playing pretty much the same old games. A few games that I was playing before got some really nice updates. Operator, which is a realistic milsim game, got a update, released some more weapons. Ready or Not, which is a law enforcement milsim kind of game where you go in, rescue hostages, that kind of stuff. That got an update, so that's actually really enjoyable to play.
What's that called?
Ready or Not.
Ready or Not.
Yeah, but it's only on PC, I believe.
I've got something that can run it.
For me, I cannot wait for the new Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, okay.
I still am a diehard original Dragon's Dogma gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And they're finally releasing the next Dragon's Dogma in the series, which they're kind of combining Shadow of Colossus with Dragon's Dogma.
Ooh.
In the trailers, it shows like this giant stone statue coming out of the ocean in his home village, which is the same home village of the last main character in the first Dragon's Dogma, from what it looks like. And you can like climb him, you can climb the griffins or animals are fighting. There's new classes you can play as that are more in depth than the original Dragon's Dogma. And it's a Capcom game, but it's like a open world fantasy Capcom game. It's like their take on Elder Scrolls, in my opinion.
Speaking of fucking Elder Scrolls,
I'm mad.
I need 6.
It's coming out
3 years ago.
It's coming out, but because Microsoft bought Bethesda, it will only be on PC and Xbox, and I am a PlayStation player. So I will not be allowed to play the new Elder Scrolls or the newest Fallout.
We will find a way, baby. Don't you worry.
Oh, I'm buying an Xbox just for those 2 games, but I am super mad. Like, I get why Microsoft did that.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation has been trying to make a lot of games exclusive to them only, so I get it, I understand. But for all of us PlayStation players, we are all still diehard Fallout and and Elder Scrolls series gamers, and at least let us still have those, is my opinion on that.
Yeah.
But because now I'm gonna have to go spend another $400-$500 on the newest Xbox so that I can play those games, which is kind of bullshit in my opinion. But I understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation was trying to take over the entire market and cut Xbox out of everything. So I get why they did it. But I'm still mad.
Yeah, and that's just something that I don't understand. Like, I kind of get it. Like, you want people to pick your platform over the other platform. But to sit there and buy out video game companies and force them to make those games exclusive is kind of scummy, in my opinion.
I agree.
Either side, it doesn't matter. I've always been an Xbox guy, and I've had to have PlayStation in the past just to play God of War, which is annoying, or games that aren't exclusive, but games that get exclusive in-game things for certain consoles. Like when Destiny was on PlayStation, you could get the Hawkmoon. We had to wait 2 years for Xbox to get the Hawkmoon.
Which I understand. I do understand that, which it is a competitive industry. I get that. But they really do need to just get over themselves, in my opinion.
Well...
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's let homeboy talk. We've been cutting him out a lot.
Video games.
Yeah.
Want to know what I've been playing recently?
What?
2 games.
Okay.
Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64.
Also, what's the dwarven game we've been playing?
Oh, Deep Rock.
He got me into Deep Rock.
Deep Rock is fantastic. And on top of like Deep Rock, so think of you take gnomes in space.
Dwarves, not
Dwarfs.
Did I say gnomes?
Yeah.
I apologize to you dwarves. You can
apologize to actual.
Apologize to me.
The dwarf.
So Bear's kind, right? He looks like he belongs in the game. So if you haven't played Deep Rock,
you really do actually.
He's in the game.
Okay, hold on. They always like to point out that I'm short. Stand up.
The driller. He's the driller.
He really is. So
I am short.
Hey,
I am not.
it really is
It's
just
cell
a
phone towers.
staircase.
It's a staircase. I'm the tallest.
This way, yeah.
Because I'm.
I am small.
So this game, Deep Rock, I got Arrow into.
I love it to death, but I can't play unless I have somebody to play with me.
So you have dwarves, you have space, and you have basically you take dwarves, space, and Minecraft put into one game, and then you have Deep Rock. In the game, you can to get your perks and everything for each level that you play, you have to go to the bar in the station and drink a beer to get it.
Yeah.
And not only that, in the game, you can get belligerently intoxicated to the point where you basically die.
Blackout. It's like blackout death. It's really cool, actually.
It is hilarious. Like, there is so many stupid things you can do in this game, but also it is such an immersive, like, weird game. It's fun. It's very repetitive, but opposed to like some other games that are repetitive when it comes to like dungeons and stuff like that, there's something new in every single one of those levels.
Like, for instance, I discovered something that you didn't know about. The Flappy Boot game that is inside the space station.
That is a new thing.
You didn't even notice that was there.
So I hadn't played that game in such a long time.
So it's basically Flappy Bird, the old school app on your phone game, but instead of a bird, it's a little rocket boot, and you have to get it through the things.
The cool thing about the Flappy Boot thing in that game is you can be in the station, you go and play for fun so you can get the high score, but in mid game while you're actually while you're running your campaign or you're going through your mission, right? You can find random boxes, you can find old helmets from previous miners, you can get new gear, like update your pickaxes, different stuff to upgrade your weapons. Oh, excuse me.
Different cosmetics.
Yeah. One of them is to get rocket boots. And to unlock it, you have to play on the Flappy Boot thing.
Flappy Bird, Flappy Boot, whatever. They don't actually name it. Well, there's probably a name above the gaming little
it's like
constantly.
Rocket Boot or something, whatever. But so got him into that. That's one of my favorite games to play lately. I used to play Apex and stuff like that, other games, but I've been prioritizing a lot of other stuff in life to where every once in a while I just hop onto some games that I really enjoy to play. On top of, say, something similar to a Deep Rock, there was another game that you mentioned that was Lord of the Rings based.
Oh, that Return to Moria.
So as soon as he had mentioned this and showed me it, I was like, this is Deep Rock, just medieval.
Well, it's you return to the mines of Moria as a dwarf under like years after the Lord of the Rings series. But yeah, no, so you're one of Gimli's like fellow dwarfs, like one of his men, after he's already gone to Helm's Deep and built the city behind Helm's Deep in the mountains and stuff. It's years later. Gimli's a lot older, and you guys try to retake Moria. And then an explosion happens in the tunnel, and you fall into your own little thing by yourself. And it's a survival game. Like, you have to eat and craft your own camp and all this kind of stuff. And you're returning to Moria.
So in the midst of this game, it is very similar to Deep Rock. But one of the coolest things that I saw that you brought up, that you can build your own base. Right?
Yeah, you can 100% build your own base from scratch. You have to find bases that are preset in certain areas. But there's nothing there other than an old campfire, and you have to like reignite the campfire and build your own forge, build your own like storage chest, build your own sleeping mat, and then defend your area, like, because you'll get random encounters from goblins and all that kind of stuff.
One weird thing, I have to point out one thing. When you were playing it,
I was struggling.
And one of the opening scenes, you notice. I didn't realize this was a thing, but apparently all the women dwarfs also have beards.
Yeah.
I did not know
Which
that.
Gimli mentions.
It threw me off. I was like...
Gimli mentions in Lord of the Rings movies, like, a nice, good dwarven woman with a nice beard you can hang on. He says that in the movies.
I was unaware.
Well, now you know.
Now I know. And I'm scarred for life.
I know. Super. It is not an easy game. That, like, I will tell you this.
It was cool.
It is really cool, but playing by yourself, it is super hard and difficult. I have died multiple times, and as soon as I respawn in my camp area, the enemies that came, the wolfhounds or whatever they are, and the goblins and stuff are still there. They're still in your camp. So you respawn with no weapons or anything like that. You have to try to like kill them and still resecure and not die. And then there are statues. Apparently, I found this out recently. There are statues that you can rebuild, and when you rebuild them, they teach you new schematics on like armor and weapons. There's one right at the beginning. I ignored it because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna venture forth and figure these things out. But if I would have known, I would have gone straight for that originally, because I would have rebuilt and got that new schematic and built the weapon or armor that came with it. And as you go, your crafting knowledge gets better, and you can build better armor and weapons to fight. And you can meet up with your friends. You can drink together, create beer.
Is it cross-platform?
Cross-platform.
Wait, hold up. Oh, that's right. So
it is PS5.
Yep.
And PC and Xbox, the newest Xbox only right now.
Wait a second. What? I can get it on my computer.
Ooh.
You got a whole extra console right there.
That one?
Yeah.
Is that the newest Xbox?
Yeah, it's the S. It doesn't have the disc drive, but it's like an X.
Okay. So I plan on getting that so I can play the newest Elder Scrolls and stuff. But it is a good game. It is just insanely hard to do by yourself.
On a quick note, why are you wearing 2 watches?
Somebody call IXII.
Yeah. By the way, why are you wearing 2 watches?
I'm wearing 2 watches. Funny enough, I only have 1 watch. So they look like watches. This one kind of looks like a Fitbit or like one of the earlier Samsungs.
It's a tracker.
They had the same wristbands and everything. Bear had pointed this out earlier and wanted to talk about it. I think I told you about it.
You did tell me about it the other day.
But without Bear knowing, why don't you put it on?
Yeah, no, put it on.
Put it on.
I know what it is now.
Do you?
Yes.
What?
It's a shocking device to break you of bad habits.
Are you sure?
I don't want to fucking test it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm good.
You put it on, right?
Yeah, I put it on.
Yeah, put it on. Come on, Bear.
I hate you.
Don't be a
on.
coward.
Come on.
So,
be that tactical rhino.
The thing is, hold on, before you put it on. So, this is only after wearing it for a while, it starts digging in because, this is called a Pavlok. It is a Pavlok shock bracelet. You can use it to help break habits and stuff like that. Yeah, it shocks you. And,
but only if you do that habit with the hand that it's on.
So, well, that is only for certain things. So, some people will use these, and there's actually a specific setting. Some people will get these to help quit smoking, or they want to quit specific habits. There is a specific button on it. If you watch, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but lights will turn on, and then it shocks. So, in the midst where you're thinking like, hey, maybe I want to go take a drink, or hey, maybe I want to go do this. Bad habits you want to break. You get that thought in your head.
Hit your cigarette or your vape or anything like that.
So something like that. The automated up hand. Hold on.
Put it on the man.
Something like that. It does have a specific. Or no, it's not.
No.
Nope. It is set up specifically for the left hand.
Right hand.
No.
Right hand.
Oh yeah, my bad. Duh.
Words are hard. Positive gravy double D.
So, with this watch, specifically, it has a setting for smokers, right? So if you lift up your hand to go take a drag, or if you're vaping or something like that, you can lift it up, and as soon as it senses that you're lifting up in that position, it has a very specific sensor. You have to set it to which hand you're setting it on. Once you lift, it'll give you like a split second before it finally goes, you're done, and it will shock you. And basically, it's kind of like the rubber band trick. Have you guys heard of the rubber band trick?
I've heard of the rubber band trick. I watched Bones.
Yeah. So you can use the rubber band trick for many things, like stopping stutters, habits, and a bunch of different things. But if you press the button, it'll shock you. It's very minimal, but as soon as you keep going,
it gets more intense as you go.
Because it starts digging in. There you go.
It's okay.
So there's an manual button on it.
Stop.
Well, let me grab it. No, stop. You hit the voice button. That's the button.
Bad. Darn it. Which button's the button?
So there's
Which is the start button?
There's 3 buttons on this one. This is the V3. Hold on. So that button right there.
It'll light up, and then you get shocked.
So
it's just like the scare factor. Because you can see the lights go across, and then it's about to hit. You're just like,
Like the shock.
That is when you manually do it. But
hang on, look at my fingers when you do it.
You want to see my fingers when I do it?
Go.
You can't feel your fingers, so how do you know? Your whole arm shakes. Keep going. Don't stop. Get to max.
It's got a weird delay to it every once in a while. It starts digging. So you see the scars and scabs on my wrist? So it's
he's really trying to break his bad habits.
I've got a bunch of habits. I'm trying to just get back into a good groove, try to get it, be a little bit more productive. So yes, I have 2 watches. One of them isn't necessarily a watch.
My hand's tingling.
I have these matching wristbands for each of them. People don't normally question it anymore.
That's because they know you're weird.
Yeah, that's fair. You are weird.
No, even strangers, they just look at me and just like they don't really think.
Yeah, it's because the way you look. They're like, look at that.
It's a weird dude.
They look at me and they're like, damn, he cute.
No, that was only your girlfriend.
I mean, he is named Ken Doll for a reason.
You're right. All right.
Anyways, so
on to the next topic, future content. What do you got planned, Parker?
Future content. So, for any of you that are listening that do follow my content for Parker Ops, for the Parker Ops Blacksmithing, unfortunately, this one isn't recorded. Working on this knife. But this is a 9-inch Bowie knife made out of 1095 high carbon steel out of a leaf spring that I'm working on. But
there's another one you are recording though.
The one that I am recording is a canister chainsaw blade Damascus. Yep. And so I have a previous build of doing a chainsaw blade Damascus that turned out amazing, but not doing it in a canister, it was very unpredictable how the pattern was going to turn out, and it almost looked like lightning bolts. It was a really cool design,
I have that piece.
Was also a wedding gift for Arrow.
For me.
So
along with my ring that I'm wearing.
I also made his ring.
Which I'm paying him for my ring. I'm not letting him do things for free.
Working on yours.
I'm not letting him give me this custom amazing deer antler and whiskey barrel Damascus ring for free. I am paying him. It is a slow payment over time, but I am paying him.
If you guys want to see Arrow's ring, I have it posted on my Instagram page of the pictures of it. It's a Damascus steel ring with whiskey barrel and antler. But what I am working on now is a canister chainsaw blade Damascus. And so far, it's actually showing a lot more of the patterns of the chain links. It's super cool.
You never know with those kind of things when you do them
with
how it's going to turn out.
Yeah,
and they always turn out super cool.
With the canister Damascus, you can kind of isolate the designs. That's how a lot of mosaic Damascus designs are made. A lot of the ones that are like checkered and crazy beautiful designs, or even I've seen some where somebody's made a dolphin that's skating across the blade that you can see after they etch into the Damascus because they took a solid steel piece and either plasma cut or water cut that piece, put into a canister, and then forged it down to a smaller piece and just kept going to a point where you see dolphins in a piece of steel. It's like, how'd you do that? Like, it's actually a part of the steel.
It's just technique. Oh, what about you?
Technique.
What about future content for you?
So I've experimented with a lot of different content. I tried to do tactical content. TikTok did not like that, as you know.
No, it did not.
A few of my videos got banned and I got strikes, so we've moved away from that. I tried 3D printer content, didn't really take off. I've done a few videos in between, just sitting in my work van. But lately, I've just been posting my D&D stories, and those have been getting a lot of love.
One of the best ones was when I was the DM at your bachelor party.
Yeah. The one about the blacksmith and the cleric,
Yep.
that was
hilarious.
It was a perfect moment for us.
No.
No. Aw, why don't you let me kill the demon? Cause the demon gonna kill you. No.
Yes, he would have. Like, is it really good thing that you guys persuaded your way out of that? Otherwise, it would have been a player wipe.
It was a good time. I was just playing as my character, and so a little bit of backstory. Arrow was DMing my bachelor party, and there was a shopkeeper, blacksmith, that was secretly a demon. Well, cleric put 2 and 2 together, noticed some weird things going on with my party members that were making deals. And
one failed the deal first and pissed off the demon.
Yeah, and I was like, not going to let another soul go to waste. So I threw my mace at the demon's hand.
Missed.
Actually, I hit that one.
No,
he got mad.
It was the second throw.
And then he went to shake again, and I threw again, because clerics sometimes can resummon their weapons.
Mind you, this is after they
and then the horny bard was like, stop!
Mind you, this is after they already pissed me off and I had them roll initiative and they were already in a fight. And the bard was like, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Let's handle this civilly and I will take less of a reward for my soul, kind of a thing. And then he was like, yep. Mace.
And everybody out of character was like, stop! You can't do this. I was like, I'm playing as my character. Fuck you!
We were
freaking out.
Literally, figuratively, physically, everything. We were starting to get pissed, like, stop!
I was like, I can't.
You're making it worse.
But so that's one of the things you're starting to get. So you're going to start doing more of the D&D little videos talking about some of the stuff we deal with during our campaigns.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool.
Just making some memes out of it. Like, why not? People obviously like it, so I'm going to keep doing it.
That one got a good amount of views on it.
That surprised me. But to this day, my most views are of you and Copper dancing at Arrow's wedding.
Yeah.
I love that video.
So I pinned it. I was like, might as well.
I love you, Bubba. You got 2 left feet.
Got 2 left feet.
Yeah, that was some good times. What about you, Arrow? You got any content planned?
So I've been kind of trying to figure out, like, I have quite a few followers on TikTok. Like, I'm okay up there when it comes to followers. I plan on actually falling more into the book talk world.
Okay.
Because I'm such a book nerd. I love books. I love talking about them. I'm actually going to fall into doing videos about books I'm reading, books I have read, stuff like that, because it's something I'm really passionate about. I love books, as you guys both know. I mean, I got you both one of my favorite
I'm excited.
series for you guys to read. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into talking about the books I've read, my opinions on them, books I recommend for people if like you're just now getting into the fantasy books or you're just now getting into like crime novels or history books, because I love history and crime novels as well. And I'm going to just focus on that, kind of fall more into the book talk world, because that's what I truly, truly enjoy is that world. And even if I don't get a lot of views or whatever, it's just what I love. So I want to put that out there, because there's a lot of people out there that do the exact same thing I'm going to start doing. But it's what I like. It's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share that with people.
Yeah.
I like it.
You gotta do what you love. Why don't you go ahead and sign us off?
Yeah. Sign us off.
Everybody, this has been a lovely episode of Rolls and Recoil. My name is Parker Robs. Thank you for watching. This is
Soldier with Arrow.
And this is
Bear Actual.
We will see you guys next episode. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys later.